Location, Aphasia. Year, 247 AF. Lucky rules this land. Automatons rule our lives. The old Aphasia is gone. Fog taints everything. But a resistance is beginning. Episode 1, An Icy Mystery. Welcome to Aphasia. Once a beautiful place, but now tainted with pyroxylene dioxide, a corrupting chemical that changes our behavior from good to, well, not so good. Most people around here, though, call it fog. The lovely countryside in which we find ourselves is called Evergreen Meadows, where a young resistance member owns a farm. After years of trauma and fieldwork alongside friends and comrades trying to fight the automatons, Sonnet Fitzpenny has retired to a countryside abode, along with a new employee who lives nearby.
Hello, I'm Steve Rabblespeaker, and you're listening to Evergreen FM, your town, your news, your station. The Evergreen Meadows forecast for today is partly cloudy and a chilly 42 degrees with a 12% chance of rain, but don't put away your umbrellas just yet. Tomorrow is going to be loaded with rain showers, bringing the temperatures down to 30.
Hello?
Hi, it's Fallon.
Fallon?
Yeah, Fallon Deshine. You just hired me last week.
Oh, yeah, that Fallon. Sorry, I've been so busy recently. I can barely remember things I should know.
Oh, I completely understand. Yesterday, I forgot to feed my goldfish, and I felt absolutely terrible. I promised him that I'd never let it happen again.
Yeah, thanks for the info, Fallon. You're bringing in the next batch of carrots, right?
That's right, ma'am.
Thanks, I'll see you in a bit.
See you in a few.
Fallon Deshine pulls her wagon down the soil-riddled roads of Evergreen Meadows, skipping along merrily. It's approximately 8 o'clock in the morning, and the countryside is alive with the chirping of birds and the squeaking of wagon wheels. Fallon is on the way to Sonnet's house, greeting other farmers enthusiastically as she passes them by.
Hi. Hello, Mr. Nearaddled. How you doing?
Oh, hey there, Miss Deshine. I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. Have a good one.
Fallon drags the wagon over a tall hill and notices something strange. A young girl stands at the top of another small hill, creating balls of ice in her hands and then dropping them onto the ground. Fallon's eyes widen as she sees this strange and unusual occurrence. Then, a new discovery hits her. The girl is crying. Fallon decides to abandon the wagon for a short time and stealthily walks at a fast pace toward the girl, her curiosity getting the best of her. She finally arrives a few feet behind the girl, cautiously approaching her.
Hello?
The girl turns around, apprehensively flinging her arms in a defensive position.
Who are you? What do you want?
Hey, it's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. I thought I saw you crying.
Don't come any closer. If you knew who I was, you would stay away from me.
I'm just trying to help.
Not one step closer.
But
The girl takes several steps back, Fallon sprinting to catch up.
I said stay away!
In an instant, a sharp icicle-like crystal pierces Fallon before she can even register what happened.
so sorry. I didn't mean to. I have to go.
Help.
Fallon falls to the ground, and a mysterious shadow is visible in the background. We now find ourselves in an office cubicle of a police department in the dirty, fog-riddled streets of No Man's Landing. The detectives of No Man's Landing Police Department, or as most Athasians call it, NMLPD, are hard at work solving cases. Well, all except two. Nola Applequill and Quin Blackroad are two detectives of the NMLPD who have been working together for years. At this present moment, however, they have nothing to do while their comrades are at work. The rest of the detectives are either on the field or at their desks, whilst Nola and Quin are sitting idly. Quin is reading a book quietly. Quin, are you sure there's nothing we can do to help the other detectives? Nothing at all? Can we, I don't know, bring them coffee or something? Quin flips another page, still engrossed in her book. Ugh, I hate this! I don't have anything to do, other than watch you read. Quin remains silent. This is torture! Quin, aren't you bored too? Do you even care? Quin finally looks up from her book. Yes, Nola, I am bored, and I'm trying to be productive here, which you should be doing also. Try reading a book or typing on that writing mechanism thing back in your cubicle. You mean the typewriter? It's out of ribbon. And no, I don't want to read, I want a case. You know, something to actually do. Fieldwork, archives, you name it. I don't even care at this point. This is just too much. I must admit, I do agree. Ah, finally! Now do you get it? This is like being a bagel that's in the toaster for too long and you know you're ready for cream cheese, but they just won't get you out of the toaster. Nola, you really need a case. Yes, exactly! Both girls jump at the sound of the telephone. Nola gets to the telephone on the other side of the table first and picks it up. Hello? NMLPD, this is Detective Applequill.
Nola? Hey, it's Sonnet. Sonnet Fitzpenny. We worked together in the past, and
And what?
Nola, I need you to come right now. I think something really, really bad happened.
Callback for 866 seconds. Negative K, nothing further. Just get a cabbie in the corner.
It's now 8:30 in the morning, and detectives Quin and Nola have just arrived at the scene, where other constables and inspectors from the EMPD, or the Evergreen Meadows Police Department, are congregated at the top of a small hill. Inspector Cogbucket, it's been a while. Good to see you're still in the business. So, what happened here?
A whole lot of chaos, I'm afraid. Please stay behind the line.
Nola glances at the yellow tape that reads, "Police line, do not cross." She looks back at the inspector and raises her right eyebrow. I'm a detective. Do you even remember me? NMLPD? The Burberry case? Any of that ring a bell?
Nice try, Missy. You're the second person tonight to attempt that "we've been best pals for years" trick. You still gotta stay behind the line.
Quin takes a step forward, flashing her metallic badge in front of the inspector. Sir, I assure you, it is no trick. I'm Quin Blackroad, and this is Nola Applequill. We're with the No Man's Landing Police Department, and we'd like to see what's going on.
Oh, my apologies, miss. I didn't recognize either of you.
No problem. All right, let's get to it. Can you show us around the scene?
Ooh, I've never seen someone get right to business that fast before. You girls really must not be from around here. Well, let me show you all around.
The three detectives duck under the police line and walk amidst the flashing blue and red police lights.
The body was reported dead at 8:16 when a witness called in. The inspectors had been taking pictures and collecting evidence.
Did they move the body?
No, it's standard procedure to leave it alone until the paramedics come. Let me ask you girls a question. Have you ever seen something happen that just can't be explained?
Well, yes. I think inexplicable things could happen every day.
All right, well, I don't think you've seen anything as inexplicable as this.
Quin and Nola follow Inspector Cogbucket toward an area where many detectives are all clustered, some taking pictures with antique-looking cameras, others taking notes on heavy-duty notebooks, and others taking a closer peek at the injury with convex lens magnifying glasses.
Well, that's the end of the line from me. I'll leave you girls to it. Good luck.
Quin and Nola make their way to the body. A few inspectors and doctors clear the way for them. My word, Quin. What lies ahead renders Quin speechless. A young girl with strawberry blonde hair, her skin paled, and a large 10-inch icicle sticking out of her chest, impaling her.
Nola, in all my years of investigation, I've never seen anything like this.
Ah, so this is a new one for you too, eh?
Nola and Quin turn their heads to see a young lady with short dark hair and dull green eyes, decked out in a trench coat.
I'm Detective Siobhan Wellfeather. I'm with the AMPD and an on-field doctor, so after working in the field for donkey's years, I thought I'd seen it all. Well, I sure was wrong.
I'm Quin Blackroad, and this is Nola Applequill. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, you too.
What happened here?
Winter in March, apparently. It's not even freezing outside, and yet this happened. None of us even have an inkling.
Nola looks around for a moment. Cogbucket said you didn't move the body, but are you sure this was the original spot you found her in? I mean, this is a grassy hill. There's nothing here, and definitely no ice.
My thoughts exactly. I don't think this was accidental. And look how this icicle isn't melting. It's frozen solid in temperature that's above freezing. To me, it seems less like a product of nature, more like a weapon.
Whoa, hold up. Who in Aphasia would use a weapon like this? If it is a weapon at all, it doesn't make any sense.
Nola, that's what I'm trying to tell you. None of this makes sense.
Quin bends down, investigating the body. She slowly pulls the icicle out and studies it.
Nola, do you notice how this thing is shaped? It's flat on the side, but instead of conical, it splays out in different shards. That's not like a normal icicle at all. It looks like it was shot out of something.
Yeah, that's strange.
That's the understatement of the century. Alright, well, sure, look it. We'll get back to this later. Right now, we have 3 witnesses that were nearby at the crime scene. They all seem a bit, I don't know, suspicious?
Suspicious?
Aye, that's what I said. Suspicious. One of them's tough as nails and the other 2, well, come see for yourself.
On a rock near an ambulance truck sits a young woman of about 20 years of age, armed with a steampunk rifle and her messy gray hair in a non-stylized bob. In the pockets of her dirty apron rest rusted silver gadgets of varied style and use, and her face is scruffed with charcoal marks. Hello, ma'am. I'm Nola Applequill with the NMLPD, and this is my partner, Quin Blackroad.
Cobble Larkrate.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Larkrate. I had a few questions for you.
Alright, but don't expect me to answer everything. I already told this whole story to the folks over at the EMPD, and I'd rather not hash it all over again.
Well, let's just say we don't take things as slow as the EMPD do. If you want to see this case solved, you're gonna have to tell us.
Let's make this as quick and easy as possible. Perhaps we can start off by asking some simple questions. Are you from around here?
Yeah, I work at a garage a few blocks down.
A garage?
For airship parts. Sometimes I make them from scratch, other times I find them in the junkyard. I have to use what I can find.
Ah, I see. So at your workplace, who do you converse with on a regular basis?
If I might pop in here, Quin, I'd rather get to the bottom of the scene, rather than asking her to share her entire life story. So Cobble, Inspector Wellfeather says that you saw the crime as it happened. Can you tell me about what you saw?
I was pretty far away, so I couldn't see much, but they were 2 girls. I think the attacker had whitish hair, maybe blonde.
Whitish hair.
Good to know. Thank you. Did you see any particular actions? Anything one of the girls did that seemed peculiar or...
No, that was it.
Are you sure about that?
Nola, why are you always second-guessing people when they just...
Actually, I did see something. I just thought it would be a little too hard to believe.
Yeah? Try us.
I saw something that looked like a shard of something. Kind of like ice. And it was coming from one of the girls, as in her hand. I saw it shoot directly out of her hand.
Okay, that is a little hard to believe. I mean, I've dealt with some weird stuff before, but not powers if that's what you're suggesting. I mean, that would be absurd, right, Quin? Right?
Ms. Larkrate, tell me more.
Whoa. Hold up, Quin. You're not actually believing this, are you?
Nola, we're detectives. Believing strange things, fancying new ideas, that's sort of our job.
Alright, so say this icicle we found buried in Fallon's body did in fact somehow come from a human being. What else? I mean, how close were the two girls in proximity?
They were pretty close, maybe a few feet away from each other. I heard one of them shout something, but I couldn't hear what she said.
Okay, anything else?
Well, that's all I saw before I decided to call the EMPD.
Thank you so much for your assistance in this case. This is my card, and this is Nola's. Should any questions or new findings arise, please let us know.
I will.
We'll let you know if anything of importance happens.
Thanks.
Hey, Quin?
Yes?
If Cobble really is telling the truth about what happened, we may have our work a bit cut out for us. I mean, powers? That's a little out of our league, don't you think?
Well, we'll just have to take things one step at a time. Well, that didn't seem so bad. Honestly, I expected fewer answers from her.
Yeah, at least she told us the truth. But Siobhan, I didn't really get that suspicious vibe you were talking about.
Oh, lassies. You haven't seen a thing yet. These two that you're gonna meet, they give me the creeps. Especially the blondie. They claim they're sisters, but I think that's just a bit of rubbish. They don't look alike at all. Here they are.
Hello, I'm Quin Blackroad. This is Nola Applequill. And I am Quest Lensfix. It's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
And you as well, Miss Applequill. This is Adventure Meremap, my sister.
Hello? Are you detectives?
Yes, we are. Don't mind her. She can be quite balmy at times, but I've found it best to take whatever she says or does with a grain of salt, if you will.
Duly noted. So where were you when you saw the crime happen?
We saw it from a distance. We were simply entering Evergreen Meadows to acquire materials and return to our laboratory. Materials? May I ask what kind? Chemicals. My sister and I are chemists, you see.
Where's your laboratory?
I do not see any reason to disclose that information.
Oh, it's not far. It's right around the corner.
Adventure. Alright. Can you tell us anything about the attacker? Any details, facial features, anything? From our location, it was rather difficult to tell, but I believe she had black hair.
Black hair? Are you sure?
Yes, indeed. In fact, that looks quite like the very woman herself.
Quin and Nola follow Quest's gaze to Cobble Larkrate. Wait, does that look like her, or is it? Nola looks back at the two sisters, only to realize they're not there. Quin? Where did they just go?
What do you mean? They're right there.
So they just disappeared. Okay. I don't get it. There's something off about this whole thing, and I don't know what it is.
Well, I suppose it's just another case to crack.
That was episode 1 of Crystallize. Tune in next time to find out what happens to the NMLPD detectives, and where Quest and Adventure went.